Welcome back to another weekly roundup of cloud gaming news brought to you by yours truly. Remember, if you want to stay up to date with all the latest in cloud gaming, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next video, and of course if you enjoy the content, give the video a like, helps the channel out a lot. But for now, let's get into this week's cloud gaming news. Starting off, of course, the big news this week from Shadow, the sad announcement that they have filed for Chapter 11 protection in the US and bankruptcy in the EU in an effort to secure a new investor to consolidate their current debts. Shadow have stated they already have interest from well-known players in the industry, so they currently expect a purchase to take place in the next few months. In the meantime, the Shadow service remains unaffected for existing users. The onboarding of Boost pre-orders will continue, and we'll even continue to see the rollout of improvements we previously talked about from their 2021 roadmap. For more information on this, I'll link to my full video where we kind of look at some of the causes and what this means for the future of Shadow. Moving on to Xcloud, in the last few weeks we've had a glimpse of the service running in the browser, but the big outstanding question was whether the resolution would improve from its current max of 720, something that was desperately needed if we're going to be taking the gameplay from a small phone screen to a PC monitor. Well, this week, Windows Central received screenshots from a, quote, trusted source conducting internal testing performance, which does show games running at 1080. For a nice comparison, we can also see what this would look like running at 720. This appears to be an improvement on their existing functionality over the bigger upgrade to Series X server blades, which is still planned for later this year, at which point it'll be interesting to see if this resolution could be pushed even further, maybe to 4K. Next, Amazon Luna is expanding their beta access, but still not outside of the US. Previously, to try out Amazon Luna, you needed to sign up and receive a beta testing invitation, but Amazon has now opened up testing to all Amazon Fire TV customers, again, only in the US. To try Luna, Fire TV owners can now download the app, which comes with a 7-day free trial to Luna Plus, and the sale of the Luna controller is no longer restricted and can be picked up on Amazon for $49.99. To try this, you will need an Amazon Fire TV Stick Lite, a Fire TV Stick 2nd or 3rd generation, a Fire TV Stick 4K, a Fire TV 3rd generation, a Fire TV Cube video streamer, or any of the Amazon Fire TV editions by Toshiba and Insignia. If you don't have any of those, then Amazon will also continue their invite-only testing of the Windows, Mac, Android, and web browser applications. All of this is obviously great news, it's progress, it's expansion of the Amazon Luna testing, but for the love of God, when is it going to open up outside of the US? Considering it works on the AWS infrastructure, which is, pretty much worldwide, the current restriction to mainland US is pretty frustrating, but then again, perhaps lessons have been learned from watching Stadia's fast rollout in the past without any kind of beta phase. Next is the start of a new month, which of course means we get a roadmap of games coming to GeForce Now, as well as 6 titles which have already been added this week. 21 titles in total planned for March, but as we've seen in previous months, these are basically just the titles which they can, at this moment, 100% confirm, with all the agreements in place with publishers and studios, but each Thursday we can still expect a drop of more titles. To be honest, nothing in this list really jumps out to me, but we've already had big things like the Outriders demo last week, and March itself looks relatively quiet in terms of AAA game releases, so GeForce Now is continuing their effort to fill the back catalogue with games you may already own and are looking for a convenient way to jump back into and give them another try. Moving on to Stadia, always an interesting one recently. Again, it's the start of a new month, which means we have new Stadia Pro titles, 4 games being offered to Pro subscribers this month, which are Pixel Junk Readers, Avicii Invector, Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle, and Reigns. And with that list, I can now officially confirm that I have cancelled my Stadia Pro subscription. As I've mentioned many times before on the podcast, I've been a subscriber of Stadia Pro since day one, but honestly, the caliber of titles coming to Stadia Pro isn't even worth the subscription cost anymore. For a platform which, at its unveiling, was touted as having more teraflops than either of the previous generation consoles, I'm honestly just a little bit tired of getting these indie titles or ports of games from like 5 years or more ago, which can run on the Switch, or can even run on some phones at this point. So that's my little Stadia rant over, but I am super interested to hear from you. Are you still a Stadia Pro subscriber? If so, why? If you were, but you've since cancelled, what made you make that final decision to cancel?
I'd love to see if there are a lot of the same answers, so let me know in the comments down below. And finally, following the closure of Stadia's first-party studio, SG&E, we're slowly learning more about some of the projects that were being worked on but have now been cancelled. The first one looks to be a music game from Harmonix. This one seems like it was mostly complete, but had potential delays around music copyright issues. Harmonix CEO Steve Janiak states if the project doesn't get released on Stadia, then they will look to bring it to other platforms. And the other two projects we now know about look like a sequel to Journey to the Savage Planet, and a multiplayer action game codenamed Frontier, led by former Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed producer Francois Pellon. That's probably how you say that. It sounds very French. Pelland. Pellon. But yeah, interested to hear your thoughts on these cancelled first-party titles. Honestly, how much impact do you think they would have had to the Stadia platform? Let me know in those comments down below. But that's it from me this week. So, of course, if you enjoyed the video, you found it somewhat helpful, a like rating would be appreciated. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next video. Hope everyone's staying safe out there. And as always, I shall see you in the next one.